Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing Burnley, who are 10th in the Premier League on 39 points. So we're now at the halfway point in the series that I'm doing now. So thank you all guys for watching so far. So as always, when reviewing teams, we're going to go through the cup competitions that Burnley competed in so far, the FA Cup and the League Cup. So in the FA Cup they got knocked out in the fourth round by Norwich, and the League Cup they lost to Sunderland in the second round. So sort of a poor showing sort of in the cups by Burnley, but as I get into later in the video, you sort of feel sort of the cup competitions aren't as important for Burnley. Definitely staying in the league is more important for them, especially for a club that size and small stadium, small transfer budget. It's definitely staying in the Premier League and the money available you get for being a Premier League side. You definitely sort of feel that is more important to Burnley. Obviously, with cup competitions, obviously, yeah, if you win, as many games as you can, you get a bit more money and stuff like that. But again, I just feel the league takes priority for Burnley at this time. So obviously Burnley, sort of ever since they've come up to the Premier League, they've sort of been a side that everyone underestimates. They've got their home form. Turf Moor it's a difficult place to go. If when you're on a away side and you go there and you get a result, you sort of go away from it thinking, yeah, that was a good result. Away Burnley, tough place to go, and we got the result. And you have seen in the past a lot of big sides struggle. Sort of Man City's, Man United's, those kind of sides have struggled, and some have lost in the past to Burnley, at Turf Moor. So it sort of shows you, how sort of important Turf Moor is to Burnley staying in the Premier League each season. Obviously, from when they first came up, their away form has improved massively, especially sort of this season. I feel they are picking up more points away from home, and obviously I think this is why they're 10th at this stage of the season, because they've picked up more points away from home. Obviously the more points you pick up, the higher you're going to be, obviously, but because of their away form, their improvement this season, that's why they're so high in the league, and that's why they deserve to be where they are. I think it was always a struggle for Burnley when they played away from home, because they sort of didn't know how to play, and that's not sort of being disrespectful to them. I just feel the way they played didn't fit an away day performance, if that makes sense. But their home form, they knew it straight away. They knew how they were going to play. Yep, we're going to do long balls, get Ashley Barnes, Chris Wood, making the centre backs uncomfortable. When we get corners, pile players in there, get the players on the keeper, make the keeper uncomfortable, and that's it. And it was just constant, and it was very, very hard to play against. When I feel away from home, they sort of were a bit tentative, and that's where teams are like, oh, okay, let's go, and they would easily get past them. But I feel like this season they found an away performance that works for them, and that's why they're picking up more points away from home, which obviously is pivotal for them in staying up. Obviously with Burnley, they are not a team full of superstars, but they have got some good players in there. They've got players obviously like Tom Pope, they've got Tarkowski, Chris Wood, Barnes that I mentioned, and Jay Rodriguez. So it's players that obviously work hard for the team. They sort of fit the Burnley ethos, and they are hard-working players. And it's sort of a little bit similar to when sort of Stoke came up with sort of the players they had. They're players that not necessarily gonna go to like big clubs, and that's not being disrespectful. But you're not gonna see them turn up for like a Man City or a Liverpool. They'll always sort of be on that level, on sort of Burnley level, that kind of thing. but they're a player that you would love to have in your team because they work really hard for the team. You know, if they, for whatever reason, have to play in a different position for a game, they won't mind. They'll just get on with it. They're a player that won't sort of pussy out of a challenge. It's a player like, if you say, yeah, every time a long ball goes up, when you're jumping up for that header, they do it. You know, it's a player you can rely on, or players you can rely on, and it definitely works for Burnley. You know, especially up front with Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood, or Chris Wood and Rodriguez, or whatever. They're players that you can rely on, and the players that get the goals for Burnley. You never sort of see, I don't think sort of since they've come up they've had like where a striker's scored more than like 10 goals, but you know, they at least score about 7 or 8, and they're always important goals. They're like goals that, you know, secure a win, or goals that get a late draw or something. It's always sort of important goals that they get. The only sort of thing you sort of worry about for Burnley is if one of them went, like Pope or Tarkowski or one of the strikers, you sort of worry if they do go, you know, will they be able to get a replacement of that quality or better in their squad? So obviously Burnley, with sort of the low transfer budget they have got, you don't really see them spending massive amounts on players. So obviously when a player comes in, it's got to be, you know, it's got to work basically. You know, they can't be spending like 15 million plus on a player and it doesn't work, you know. It's got to be like maybe 5-6 million on a player that's sort of maybe relatively unknown, but it's got to work. And, you know, that's what the trouble is. That's what, you know, Burnley have got to consider. If sort of a good bid comes in for one of their players, you know, can they get a replacement in? And can they get a replacement in that's going to be, you know, suit Burnley's style, obviously improve the squad, and, you know, it's going to be a hit straight away. So that's sort of what Burnley, you know, need. Obviously with Burnley as well, they are a team that consistently overachieve each season. And again, that's not being disrespectful to them, but, you know, they do overachieve. You know, for a small squad that they have got, and sort of a relatively sort of squad of just standard players, you know, they do definitely punch above their weight. You know, obviously at the start of the season, when obviously they had their little struggles, I thought, you know, maybe this is the season where Burnley go down, and that's what I thought. But, you know, they've got out of that rot, and they're playing very well, and that's why they're 10th in the league at this moment. But, you know, they are a team that consistently, you know, pundits go, oh yeah, they're going down, you know, not got enough quality. And, you know, the players probably thrive off that. You know, they think, oh yeah, everyone's, you know, underestimated little old Burnley again. You know, let's prove them wrong. And, you know, I think they have. Maybe, you know, I think sort of at the start of the season they were trying a different way of playing. And, you know, always when you sort of maybe change your style, there's always sort of a bad patch of results that happen that comes with the new way of playing, or the new way you're trying to play or implement in your squad. And it took time. And I think occasionally they had to go back to their old ways that did work for them, just to sort of get that sort of cushion and that safety net in the league. But I feel like they've changed the way they play in the season, and I think, you know, from when they first came up, where it was, you know, sort of long balls, quite sort of physical way of playing, not sort of nice to watch. You can now watch a Burnley game and think, yeah, you know, they are a footballing side now. I think the signings they've made and the players they've got in that midfield now, they can, if you go, right, I wanted to get the ball down and play today, I think they can do that now. You know, it's good to have sort of plan A and B. You know, if maybe you're down in a dogfight, you know, maybe you can go to that plan A of long balls, you know, and get Chris Wood, Barnes, you know, competing with headers with the centre backs, or you know, if you're playing well, confident with the way you're playing, you know, get the ball down and play. Get Dwight O'Neill and Jeff Hendrick to get the ball down and play. You know, getting crosses in, you know, passing and moving, that kind of stuff. And there you go. You've got 2 avenues you can play. And you know, it does help you. If you've always got the same way of playing, you know, teams are going to work you out. And I think that's what Burnley had to do. I think sort of teams started to work them out at their place, at Turf Moor. And, you know, you saw, I think it was maybe last season and a bit earlier in the season, you know, they were easy to beat at Turf Moor, I thought. And now, sort of later in the season, you know, Turf Moor is a hard place to go to again. And that's what they've got to have, you know. For teams like Burnley, their home ground has got to be a fortress. You know, they've got to get results there every season. They can't rely on other teams. They have to do well at home. And you know, that's what they're doing this season. A lot better than they were earlier in the season. Obviously, they got good manager in Sean Dyche. Obviously, he's been criticised a little bit, but I feel that, you know, because of the way the Burnley team are playing, I think you've got to give credit to him. You know, he's realised that they needed a change of style. He's implemented that, brought in a couple of players that, you know, have filled the gaps that they needed. And, you know, it's worked wonders, you know, and they had good results, I think, in the sort of early part of this year. And that's consolidated sort of their position in the league. And it's probably got them playing another season of Premier League football next season. So overall, for Burnley's season, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I feel it has been a solid season in the league, sort of after a slow start. But, you know, obviously the poor cup competitions have obviously made that rating stay fairly low, but I think it has been a solid season in terms of the league for Burnley. Anyway, if any Burnley fans stumble across this video, what do you think for your season so far? What do you hope to achieve over the next few seasons? Would you like to potentially push for Europe again? Do you think you're just going to become a team that just consolidate a place in the league every season? And do you think potentially that any of your players will be sold or leave the club? And do you think you have enough to, you know, get players of quality into the club? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. My next video will be on Palace, which will be over the weekend. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys, and goodbye.